welcome to this week's video. We've got guest star, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. How you doing, Stay Puft? Stay puffed. Drink milk, stay puffed. Lizzie does not like wearing a hat. How much hair she's got, man. So this week's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips for losing weight. And they've really worked. I've lost nigh on 70 pounds now. And they do work. Tip number 1 is to count your calories and be realistic with yourself. I tried, when I first started dieting, I was just guessing my calories and the weight was coming off really slowly, like sometimes 0.1 pounds a week. And I was convinced that it was because I'm nearly 40. My metabolism was destroyed because of all the yo-yo dieting I've done. Get something like Chronometer, which is amazing actually, because that like breaks it down and tells you all your nutrients as well. You can use your app on your Fitbit to input your calories, or you can use MyFitnessPal. Don't underestimate it, because you'll be surprised. You really will be surprised. Like if you're guessing calories now and you're wondering why you can't lose weight, stop guessing and start measuring. You'll only have to measure for a little while, because then you'll get it in your head and you know, like, oh, so a tablespoon is about 10 grams of seeds, da da da. If you're 500 calories deficit a day, you lose 1 pound a week. 1,000 calories, you lose 2 pounds a week. Tip number 2 is move more. Move more. You just, when you get up in the morning, or in the afternoon, if you're lucky enough to have a lay in. I've been getting up at 4:30 lately. Thanks, Lizzie! But when you get up in the morning, do what you need to do. If you don't need to do anything, if you've got no kids, just put some clothes on and get your butt out that door. Going for a walk in the morning is really good, because you don't have time to procrastinate. Oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it later. And then all day long, you're like, oh, I can't be bothered. Oh, I know I've got to go and do that. Oh, I can't be asked. And then you end up not doing it, feeling really shit about yourself for it. And you think, I'll do it tomorrow. And the same thing happens again and again and again. And it's a really bad place for you to be in your mind. Just do it. And what that will do is it will really motivate you for the rest of the day. I promise you it will. Maybe not on the first day or the second day, but by the third day you'll start feeling it. And by the time the first week's over, you really will feel it. And then the week after that and the week after that, you won't want to go back. Tip number 3 is to get a fitness tracker. Get a fitness tracker. With a fitness tracker, you input your data, you know, your weight, your height, your gender, da 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 da. And it roughly tells you how many calories you're burning a day, how many steps you do, all of the important stuff if you're on a weight loss and fitness journey. You can set your goals in it. Mine is to do 10,000 steps a day. It has been for ages now. So tip number 4 is to learn about nutrition. And I know it probably sounds really boring, but it's actually not, and it shouldn't be boring, because this is like life. You know, you are what you eat, and you really are what you eat. So learning about nutrition is so valuable, because you know you're learning about what is in those calories and if it's, you know, effectively good for you or bad for you. And once you have a certain amount of knowledge about nutrition, it really does make you think twice about what you put inside your body. Once you know, you're not going to want to put the crap in here, I promise. Tip number 5 is just do a little change at a time. Because if you try and do everything all in one go, you're probably going to fail. You know, and that's happened to me so many times. You know, 15 years I spent being obese. And my weight would go up and down, up and down, up and down, but I was always in the obese category. And it went up and down, because I was constantly yo-yo dieting, trying different things. You know, I tried the Cambridge diet, I've tried keto, I tried high carb, low fat, I've tried high fat, low carb. I've tried everything. Weight Watchers Slimming World, you know, Slim Fast shakes, cabbage soup, just eating 2 bowls of cereal a day with a proper dinner, I promise you now, it does not matter if it's got high carb, low fat, high protein. It doesn't matter about the macros if you want to lose weight. It matters about being in a calorie deficit. That's all. That's why it's so important you need to count your calories until you know what you're doing. You know, I've been doing this for ages, you know, since the beginning of the year. I still count my calories. Start making little changes, like swap out your full fat cow's milk for something like almond milk. The Alpro almond unsweetened milk is 13 calories per 100 ml. And then do that for a little while until you're used to it. Then make another little change. So maybe have breakfast a little bit later. I know they always say, it's like drummed into our heads, isn't it? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. Eat when you're hungry. If you're not hungry when you wake up, don't eat breakfast. When you wake up, you should be hydrating. You're dehydrated from the night, from not having anything to drink all night, from fasting all night. It really is all about those little changes. I'm still making little changes now, and I've been doing this for like 9 months. I've been doing this for like 9 months now. Making little changes ends up being like a really long journey, but you know, most of the time it takes people a really long time to get fat. You know, it took me, I was 15 years being overweight. They are my tips for weight loss. I mean, there's so many more. There's so much more. And, you know, I'm willing to help anyone. So if you've got any questions, comment in the box below. I will quite happily answer any questions you have. So I'm sat here editing my video, which I'm going to release tomorrow. And I have realised that I didn't speak about the weight loss this week, which is a little dumb. So I'm going to pop my weight on the screen now. Bada bing. I have lost weight. It's not a substantial amount of weight. It's less than I'd hoped for, but it's still a loss. So I will take it. And I'll put my measurements on the screen too. And I've shrunk somewhat there as well. So I'll take that too. Still got my makeup on from earlier. I will wash that off before bed. Right, let's get back to it. Now I've got to add this to this. Next week I do actually want to change the day I upload a video on. So I'm going to aim to do it on Monday instead of Wednesdays, because Wednesdays always seem to be a bit crazy for me. My 100-mile challenge, poo-poo, don't forget about that. I will have some more information on my next video or perhaps the following video. It's a lot of organising, and I'm getting the last few bits together before we go live with anything. But I will be doing my 100-mile challenge. Have a happy Halloween, everybody, whatever you're doing. There is a super moon this Halloween. I think it's a blue moon. Absorb that full moon power and make it something positive. Stay happy, everybody, and I will see you lovely not next week. Mwah!